Alright, so I wanted to do something super fucking random today, okay? I wanted to do something fun, something that's gonna make me laugh, just have a chat and hang out with you guys. I've seen these videos done before on YouTube and I've always wanted to do one myself. So today, I'm gonna be answering all of your assumptions about me. I jumped on Instagram stories yesterday morning and asked you guys to assume ridiculous shit about me. If you're not following me on Instagram, the link is down below. It's just more to Mary. I'm always on there having a chat, having some banter with you guys. So yeah, I asked you guys to be ridiculous. I want like stupid shit. Like I didn't want stuff that, you know, is really common. Like I just wanted fucking you guys to just assume. You know, just assume. Make an assumption, huh? Just assume something about me. I'm not gonna ramble in the intro too much longer because there's fucking tons, dude. Like you guys made some assumptions, okay? Let me just say. Some of them I'm like, oh, okay, we're going there, are we, sis? You recreate sex scenes you read in books with your partner. A lot of people have actually asked me that question before, and no, I don't recreate specific scenes, but I have taken certain sexual acts that I have read and incorporated them in my sex life. Guys, I'm in a long-term relationship, and if you're in a long-term relationship, you know that it's very important to keep your sex life vibing. Like, it's very important to keep that connection, spice things up, keep it exciting, because, you know, having sex with the same person every day or every couple of days for 7 years straight, you need to spice it up. You need to have some fun with your partner, and it's also a great way to connect with your partner and to share intimacy with them. You're going to be that really cool mum slash aunt who goes clubbing with their kids slash nieces and nephews. I really hope so. I plan on being like the cool mum. I know that I definitely want a unconventional household with my children. I have very specific opinions on education and stuff like that too. So I don't know. I definitely want my house to be open. I want to have a really good bond with my children and with my nieces and nephews because I am an auntie. I do have a good relationship with them, and you know, they sometimes do ask me questions and stuff like that that they may not like feel comfortable asking their parents, and that is something that I have always wanted to have with them. They're in their childhood, so they're young, but my eldest nephew, he is 13 this year, and it's so bizarre because I was 14 when he was born. Like he's almost the same age as what I was when he was born. It's so crazy. But yeah, we have such a good relationship, and he has a really good relationship with everyone in our family. And I always say, like, I fucking hope like I'm still young enough and hip enough to come out with him and go out with him when he turns 18. I'll only be 31, so I'll be hitting the clubs with my nephew. And I also always say to my sister, she has a daughter, and I always say, like, I reckon Emmy will come to me in her teen years and be like, Auntie Mimi, because they call me Mimi, not Mary. Auntie Mimi, can you like buy me alcohol? Can you take me to a party? I feel like that they'll have, especially Emmy, will have a relationship with me where if they're out at a party, that they'll feel more comfortable calling me to come get them than their parents. And I hope so. I hope so. I have mad love for those kids, and I really hope that I can be that like cool aunt and, you know, cool mum. That you're probably not the type to have casual hookups. Now, as I said, I'm in a long-term relationship, and I have been since I was 18, so all my experiences and stuff like that of being single are from my teen years, and I did have casual hookups. Yeah, I definitely had people that I would sleep with and just casually sleep with them, and I definitely had certain people that I would go to hook up with, and just, you know, feelings never evolved, and they were never created, and relationships never came from those experiences and relationships with those people. But I had casual hookups, but I didn't like sleep around. That you were probably more of a night owl than a morning person, 100%. I want to be that bitch, you know? I want to be that bitch that gets up at like 5 o'clock every morning and is like, let's do some yoga. Let's meditate, bitch. Let's like fucking have a really nice, healthy fucking breakfast full of healthy fats, and let's go for a walk along the beach, and let's just like get pampered and ready for the day. No. No, I wake up like half an hour before I have to go to work. I brush my teeth, I brush my hair, and I'm out the fucking door, mate. I don't have breakfast. All I have is coffee, and I wish I could be a morning person. I fucking hate the morning, especially waking up early, and I am the type of person that will be tired all day, and then it hits 10 o'clock and I'm like, bing, like I just get all this energy in the middle of the fucking night. You're kinky. So many people assume that I am kinky. Now, my whole thing is like, what do you define as kinky? I was having a conversation with my best friend the other day. We were down at her boat shed, and it was like 30 degrees because it's summer here. And yeah, we were talking about like sex and different kinks and how kinks develop and stuff like that. And I said to her, like, I consider myself vanilla. And she looked at me and she was like, I feel like you're not fucking vanilla, Mary. And I was like, no, I am. And she was like, no, I really feel like you're not vanilla. I personally think I'm vanilla. I'm definitely not someone that's like, let's get the fucking whips and chains out, bitch, ball gag me, like piss on me, fucking spit in my face. Like, I'm not kinky in that way, but I definitely have kinks, and definitely have certain things that turn me on. I'm a vanilla kinky bitch. Does that make sense? Is that a thing? Can we create that? I'm a vanilla kinky bitch. You have sex every day. Fuck no. Who has time to have sex every day? You're a really passionate person. 100%. 100%. I'm so passionate about the things that I love and my opinions. I'm very passionate about my opinions, and some people might see that as like I'm over opinionated, but and I know how my opinions can come across. I definitely have an open mind though, and I can listen to the other side and, you know, see their point of view, but I am very passionate with my opinions. I have always resonated with being passionate, if that makes sense. Anything that I absolutely love, whether it's a hobby or a person, like I love, you know what I mean? Like if I care for you, I fucking care for you. Like if I'm really like into reading, I'm gonna really read, if you know what I mean? Like it's either full on passionate and I'm just like fiery and zesty with what I love, or it's like the complete opposite. But yeah, 100%, I'm passionate as fuck, and that's why I come across sometimes as aggressive, and that's why I have like a fiery side, and I have a temper, and I can go from 0 to 100, and that's why I, you know, fucking speak my mind and speak my truth, and I cuss a lot. Like I'm passionate. 100%. You mindlessly spend money on aesthetic things, even if they're useless. I used to just go to Kmart and just buy whatever looked good and I thought was good. Like, you know, some of the most pointless things I've wasted money on. I try to nowadays be very cautious with what I'm buying, because I'm someone that I get really overwhelmed in my environment, and I'm a homebody. I'm home all the time, and I get really like, I don't know, my mind gets cluttered when my environment is cluttered. So I don't like having like a lot of furniture. I'm someone that hates like knickknacks. You know how people have like fucking bookshelves and shit, not even with books on them, but they'll have like ornaments and like little knickknacks, and like I hate that. Like I'm like, dust collectors, annoying, like just clutter, just things that aren't pleasing to look at. It's too much for the eyes. So I try to pull back on my spending. I don't really spend, well, I do spend a lot of money, but I don't overspend as much as what I used to. I used to buy a lot of makeup. I used to buy a lot of home decor. You know, I'm constantly changing the decor in my house, and I've really pulled back on a lot of those things. But yeah, I used to mindlessly spend money all the time. You like cats? Yes, I do like cats. I love cats because they are independent. I love dogs, I love animals, but I just don't like caring for them. You know, I don't have a dog because I can't be fuck walking it every day. Like, I don't want to fucking feed it, you know what I mean? So I don't want to give the animal a lot of my time, because my time I don't have enough time to give. I struggle giving time to the humans in my life, let alone adding an animal. I have a cat and I love him. I've had him for 7 years now, and he is so independent. Like I feed him and shit like that, but he just lives his best. I'll give him a pat like here and there. If I'm feeling down, he'll come and give me a cuddle. I'm definitely more of a cat person, but as I've gotten older, I've realized I'm definitely not an animal person in general. I just don't want to own a lot of animals and have a lot of pets. You romanticize relationships between minors and adults. No, of course not. Like, especially, okay, obviously a lot of the books that I read are age gap romances, and some of them do feature minors. My whole thing is, if the book is fucking legal, then there's nothing to worry about it, you know what I mean? I don't particularly go out in my everyday life and promote, like, relationships between minors and adults. I know there's a lot of issues with that in the world. I know the damage that can be done with a minor having a relationship with an adult, and I think as of recently, with so many people coming at me with this, people forget that I was a minor once too. And I've had relationships as a minor with adults. So I know what it's like on that end of things. And of course, I do not romanticize about it, and I do not approve of it in real life. It's so different when you read books though. I can totally separate fiction from reality. I've said this before on my channel, I'm not a judgmental person though. I really am not when it comes to relationships, and I feel like adult relationships with minors, there's a huge grey area, and it's not so black and white at times. And I am approving of that grey area if it is legal and consensual. And people will debate with me, minors can't give consent. Legally, no, but there's been a lot of cases that I've witnessed in my life, and I have been a part of those cases where the relationship with the adult was really not harmful. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's very different where you live. Here in Victoria, like, the age of consent is 16. And like with high school, like I know in the States, you guys have like elementary school and middle school and then high school. We just go from primary school straight to high school. So you're like 12, 13, going to school with 18-year-olds. Like, it's mixed together. And for me personally, sorry, I have to fix the camera. For me personally, like, I have been working since I was 14. So I've been in the workforce since I was 14 years old, since I legally could work. And I've worked with people that are adults. And it's, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. I don't romanticize about it. I don't approve it, but there is a massive grey area, and where I live, I feel like it is so much more the norm. Like, when I was a teen, like, so many 16-year-olds were dating like 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. Like, it was so fucking normal. I was 16 with a 21-year-old. And like, that's so normal. Like, it was such a normal relationship. You know, the only difference was like he was legal and was able to go out and do things where I wasn't. But like, yeah, it was so fucking normal, and still to this day, I don't look back at that relationship as like a grooming thing. Like, I'm still friends with him. Like, he's still like, he's one of my closest friends. He's, you know, he's really good friends with my partner now, and he's a massive part of our lives. Like, I don't look back at that relationship and see it as a negative. And I've had therapy, hun. So many people say, like, to me also online, like, you need therapy. And I'm like, hun, I've done counseling. You know, some people may say and think that I have a warped mind, but I'm just open-minded with this stuff. And I just know, depending on the environment and the situation, there's a grey area, and it's different. Every case is different. And yeah, I don't know. I like to read age gaps. Like, I love to read age gap romances because I can relate to them and I can connect to them. A lot of these stories we read, I lived when I was a minor and when I was a teenager. So it's like, that's why I like to read them. Like, I connect with them on a deeper level. You want to have babies ASAP. The baby question. I do and don't. I'm very like flaky with this whole baby decision. One minute I'm like, I want to get pregnant right now, and then the next minute I'm like, I don't want a baby. I can't make my decision. And in so many ways I feel like I'm just not ready, and I know you're never ready to become a parent, but there's just something inside me that's telling me to just wait a little bit longer. I can just, I don't know, something's giving me a vibe, okay? My like spider senses are tingling and are telling me to just relax on the baby making journey, and just see where life takes me first. But you know, I'm turning 26 this year. I'm in a long-term relationship that is very stable. I have like a good income. My partner has a good income. We're pretty good financially. Like, we're not, you know, rolling in money, but we're definitely secure. We don't rely on anyone else to help us out financially. So like if a baby was to happen, like it would totally be normal, but there's just something inside me that still thinks I'm just too young. And I don't know if that's because I'm holding on to my youth. Like falling pregnant at 26 is totally normal, but I don't know, there's a part of me that still feels like I'm 16 and I still feel like I'm 17 inside, and I'm like, oh my God, am I too young for this? Like, yeah, I don't know. Babies, it's a difficult conversation. You have a lot of friends. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not have a lot of friends. I have my best friend and can I say my sisters are my friends? Yeah, I have a really close friend that I've been friends with for a long time, and she is everything to me. Like, I love her with my entire heart. I could even cry just saying how much I love her. Like, she is the only person I have met in my adult life that gets me, that understands me, that I can just connect with. And I don't have a lot of friends because I find it very hard to connect with people, and I am a very guarded human. Like, I have been hurt so many times in my life, through my family, through my friends, through past relationships with boyfriends, that now in my 20s, I'm a guarded bitch. Like, it's, you have to really fucking penetrate these walls to get to know me, you know what I mean? Like, even with my friend that I'm just talking about, like, I've cried in front of her like twice in like 8 years. And when I did cry in front of her, I was like trying to hold it in, and she was like, I can tell you don't want to cry. You don't want to show me this side of you. Like, I can tell. I'm just not a very open person. Well, I am an open person. I'm an open book, but for me to let you in and for me to let you be my person, that takes a lot of work, and I have to feel like there's a connection. It's so annoying because doing everything online and having this YouTube channel and like making friends with so many of you, I've like met so many of you online, and I'm like, oh my God, you're my fucking person, but you live in like the UK, or you live in the US, or you live in Europe. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I find it really hard to find people that are like similar to me, or I don't know, I just connect with. And it's just been sad, like meeting so many beautiful people that I connect with and can see a friendship building and evolving, but you're all fucking overseas, and it's just not the same. Like, I can't just go around to your house and have a coffee with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't just call you up and have a bitch. Like, it's not the same. But no, I don't have a lot of friends, and I choose not to have a lot of friends because I feel like a lot of friends brings a lot of drama into your life, and I'm too old for that. Like, I've done the whole lot of friends, a lot of drama, and it was painful and exhausting. I'm not doing it again. You've smoked weed. Yes. Who hasn't? Jesus Christ. I smoked, okay, story time. The first time I ever smoked weed was at school. Yes. At high school. I was in year 8, I was 14 years old. A bunch of my guy friends started smoking weed at the time, and it was like recess or whatever, and we went and smoked weed. And I literally had a few drags of a joint, and the bell went and we had science. So we were walking to class and I felt normal, and then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, bitch, like everything was different. Like, things were happening, and I was like, fuck, how am I meant to do class? We went into our science class, we sat down, and I was sitting at like our desk with all the boys, because I had a lot of guy friends in high school, and They were all like laughing, you know, they had the munchies, they were giggling, and I was just wigging out. Like, I had a tap, there was a sink next to me, and the tap was dripping, and as each water droplet dripped out of the fucking tap, it sounded like it was right near my ear, and I was feeling not okay. And the boys were like, Mary, like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm not okay. And then my science teacher, he was like, Mary, are you okay? You look really green and pale. And I was like, I'm not okay. And I got up, walked out of class, and boffed everywhere in like the locker bay. Yeah. I greened out at school for the first time. That was my first experience with weed. I greened out at school, and I went to sick bay and they called my mum, and my mum came and picked me up, and she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I think I just ate something that fucked with my stomach at the canteen, and went home so stoned, and I fucking sat on my bed and just stared out the window for like 3 hours and just looked at a bird. Like, I was so high off like a few drags. I have not a very high tolerance with drugs. I can't take a lot of them, and that I have to be very mindful of them. And yeah, weed, I've smoked weed, but it's not an often thing. So many people think I smoke weed all the time, and I totally don't. I don't like it, but yeah. Anyway, you would totally give up your actual life to go and be a mafia princess. Now, look, yes, if the mafia life was how it is when we read it. But I'm very well aware that the mafia life is very fucking dangerous in real life, and it's not something to romanticize about. What are the chances of that happening though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the chance of some mafia man coming to my house and being like, do you want to be a mob princess? Like, that's never gonna happen. You don't get angry easily, but when you do, you go off. I have a lot more patience and tolerance with my anger than I used to. I've worked on that. I work really hard on that. But no, I do get angry really easily. I get offended really easily. Not necessarily like with online stuff, but with personal, like when I'm having a fight with my boyfriend and stuff like that. I'm quite sensitive. I'm not a soft person, but I'm sensitive. And when I'm hurt, my first reaction is to get angry. So I do get angry easily. I really do. I do. Not as bad as what I used to, but I definitely fucking go off. And it's a situation. Like, honestly, I wish my boyfriend would sit down and do one of these videos with me, because he can fucking tell you. Like, I'm not, like, I may be like sensitive, but I'm not soft bitch. Like, I go off. You would sleep with your boyfriend's dad if he ever cheated on you. Absolutely not. That is mortifying. Absolutely mortifying. No. You worked as a stripper. Absolutely not. No, never worked as a stripper. Not that I have anything against women that strip. Go get that coin, hun. You do you, boo. I could never. I'm not fit enough. I'm not fit enough to be a fucking stripper, bitch. Like, I'm not fit. I could never. I could never. Your boyfriend is way older than you, and you guys do kinky stuff, like the novels that you and me read. He's not way older than me. So many people think that I'm with like someone who's 20 years older than me. He's only 3 years older than me. He's 28. Yeah, I've dated men that are older than me, but just not like 20 years older than me. You want your boyfriend to propose? Yes? Yes, I do. It's been nearly 8 years. Like, what do you mean, sir? Like, what? I know that, especially where I live and the society I live in, marriage is very rare. Like, people really don't get married much anymore. People just, I don't know, detour around that and just go straight for kids and buying houses and stuff like that. But I really want to get married. I've always wanted to get married. I want his last name. I love his last name. I want our kids to have the same last name. I'm a bit traditional like that. I don't know. And I definitely would like to get married before I have a baby, but whether that happens or not, probably not. Weddings in Australia are so fucking expensive, and it's just like, why? You're signing a piece of paper, hun. Why are we having to spend $40,000 on a fucking wedding? Like, beg your pardon. And you know how the whole tradition that the parents of the daughter are meant to pay for it? My parents are broke as fuck. They won't be paying for shit. I said to him the other day, when is it gonna happen? And he said, when you stop asking. So, I need to stop talking about it. You've eaten ass. I haven't, actually. I've never eaten ass. I've gotten close to it, but I've never actually eaten ass. When you were younger, you were only attracted to toxic guys. Amen, sister. The more fucking toxic, the more like bad boy, the man whores. That was my type. You like to cuss. Have you fucking met me, bitch? Like, every second word is a swear word. I love cussing. And also it's, I don't know, if you're Australian, it's in our nature. Like, we just all swear a lot. And it just has like no meaning. And I feel when you're having a conversation, adding a like swear word into it just makes it way more like passionate. Like, I'm so bored. I'm so fucking bored. Like, you know, it's just, it's different. You can be very intimidating. Yes, I can be. I've heard that from a lot of people. I have like resting bitch face when I'm around new people. Also, a lot of people's first impression from me is I'm judgmental, but I don't mean to come across like that, and I'm so not judgmental. It's just, as I said before earlier, with letting new people into my life, I'm very guarded. So it's funny, a couple of months ago, or like last month or whatever, I was up in the city at a nightclub with my friend, and we made friends with this other woman, and this woman said to me, she's like, I feel like you're the judgy one, because I was kind of like silent. My best friend said, Mary is a type of person that has a lot of layers. And she's just very guarded, and I feel like, yeah, that comes off as like judgmental and can come off as intimidating. You've given blowjobs to your one night stands. Actually no, I've only ever given blowjobs to my boyfriends. I've never like given a blowjob to a guy like that I've just met, or like, I don't know. I feel like oral sex, people may disagree with this, but for me, oral sex is way more intimate than sex. To me anyway, and I save oral for the real ones, you know what I mean? You are a very shy and sensitive person in real life. On camera, you make yourself look bold. Yes and no. Like, this part of me that you see is definitely a part of who I am. As I've said, I'm a very layered person, and I can have a lot of different like moods and personalities, and depending on who you are, you see a different side of me. I overall, outside in day-to-day life, especially if I don't know you, am extremely shy. Extremely shy. Like, if I met you randomly at like a party or something, or you know, at a gathering or whatever, I would not be like this straight off the bat. That's just who I am. But I'm like this with the ones that know me and the people that I'm closest to. But it's funny because like I had a conversation with my brother a few months ago. Like, he was telling me how proud he was of me, and we were just talking about YouTube and stuff. And he said to me, he was like, you've created this kind of like Sasha Fierce, like this like online persona that not a lot of people get to see. And it's true, like it depends on my mood. But I know as soon as when the camera's on, this is what I'm like. You know what I mean? I am authentic on camera to who I am, but yeah, I don't show this side of me very often, and it just depends on the social environment, like out in real life. You actually care what people think. Yes and no. I think everyone to a certain degree does care about other people's opinions about themselves. I don't care about the shallow shit, like the appearance and stuff like that. I don't care if people think that I'm unattractive. I don't care if people think that I need to get my teeth fixed. I don't care if people want to comment on my weight. I care when someone makes an assumption about my like integrity and who I am as a person without doing like the research. You slept with basically all the guys you saw. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, I definitely wasn't someone that just opened their legs for anyone and everyone. Not at all. You are a One Direction fan at heart. No, I fucking hate One Direction. I don't listen to their songs. Never was a fan. I've never been that girl that was like, oh my god, boy bands like Harry Styles, like not me. You and your boyfriend go to swingers clubs and have threesomes. So many people assume this. Like, so many people made this assumption. No, we are not a swinger couple. Oh my god, it's so funny. Not at all. We have never had a threesome with someone else. We've been put in positions before in the past where we could have explored and had sex with another couple or other people, but that's just not for us. Like, yeah, we're not swingers. I assume you're easy to rile up. Amen, babe. Oh my god. I I'm super gullible, I'm easy to rile up, I'm easy to annoy. My family, like as a joke, gaslight me quite often because they find it funny because I just get so angry and like, oh, like so annoyed so easy. My partner loves doing it to me. He enjoys fucking riling me up so much. He'll say things purposely just to see like my reaction. You don't believe in a God. I've mentioned this before, I'm not religious at all. I didn't come from a religious family. My dad never believed in forcing religion on his children. My mum actually is Catholic though, and God and all that is very important to her and her family. And like my grandma was very religious. But no, I'm not religious. I've touched base on this before. I don't believe in a God. I don't, especially with all the science in the world and all of that. I feel like there's just too many things that contradict it and it just makes no sense to me. I tried. See, the good thing with the way my parents raised me, like my dad said to my mom, like, you can baptize Mary if you want, because my grandma really wanted us to be baptized, and dad thought, you know, I was the baby of the family, like, why not just baptize me? My name's Mary, why not? Like, he could kind of just thought if, you know, you want Mary to go down that path, you can, but mum was just like, nah, like, let's not worry about it. And the great thing about not having a religion forced upon me when I was growing up, I decided to try them all out on my own. Like, I remember trying to like pray when I was like, oh, I would have been like 6. Like, I tried like every night before I went to bed, I prayed, and nothing that I ever prayed for came true. Like nothing ever come from it. So I just kind of like decided that it just wasn't for me. And I'm not against people that are religious at all. Like, you believe in whatever you want to believe, hon. I just have I get really annoyed with certain Christians because there's certain ones that are extremists and they harass me and they like message me and say I'm going to perish in hell. And I'm just like, bitch, me and Satan, we're on a first name basis. Like, meet it down there, hun. I just don't take offense to it or take it on it seriously, but it just annoys me that someone like comes at me from that point of view and like that perspective about like religion, because it's like, I don't believe in that, so shut up. I'm not saying all Christians are like that, but there are ones out there that are very aggressive. They're very aggressive. But yeah, how do I explain myself? I believe in the afterlife, and this is what I have decided myself from my life, my experiences, what I connect to the most. I definitely believe in like past lives and stuff like that, and I believe that when we pass away that our souls are reborn, and I think that's why there's a lot of cases of young kids recalling their past lives. And you know, sometimes you meet people in life and you're like, you connect with them and you're like, I know you, like I've known you before. I'm very much someone that believes in like karma and stuff like that. And I've said this before on Instagram, if I was to connect myself to any religion, it would be Hinduism. But I don't claim to be anything. Like, I just have my own beliefs. I'm entitled to that. You guys are entitled to your own beliefs. But yeah, I don't particularly like religion and categorizing yourself within a religion. I think it causes a lot of problems in the world. You've had physical fights with your parents. No, I haven't had a fight, like a physical fight with my mom, but I have had like fights with my dad before, where, you know, I was being a bad bitch and he was disciplining me. You are concerned over the government overstepping its control because of COVID. Oh my God, this is like a bit political. I definitely have my opinions on the whole COVID situation and how Victoria, the state I live in, handled it. I am grateful at the moment for the choices and the, you know, sacrifices we had to make, because we're in a very good place with COVID compared to a lot of places around the world. And I'm grateful for that. But there are some things that still don't sit right with me, and there are some things that I want to see. I feel like the whole mental health side of COVID hasn't been given enough attention. I've known people that have committed suicide throughout COVID. here in Australia, and you know, the government says, oh, we're going to put all this money into mental health because of COVID, and we need to help everyone that's mentally not coping through COVID, but I'm not seeing that, and that's an issue, and I'm not comfortable with that. And I feel like throughout COVID, everyone else that had health issues, whether they were mental or physical, were put on the back burner, and like no one really cared for them, and now they're really struggling in life, and they're just not getting the funding and the professional help that they need. And I feel like the government really needs to pick up their game with that. Like, we're going to be suffering for a long time because of this COVID, and understandable, we needed to do what we needed to do to save lives, but we're not saving all the lives. You're rich. Absolutely not. I am not rich. I'm not even rich. Like, my own fucking accountant told me that I'm average poor. Like, I'm average poor bitch. I'm comfortable, like I don't need help from the government, but I'm not driving a fucking Mercedes, you know what I mean? Like I'm on the lower end of things, and I didn't come from a wealthy family. You've done heavy drugs. Well, what do you call heavy? Like, what is your definition of heavy drugs? It's easier to say what drugs I haven't taken. I haven't done heroin because heroin's not that big here. I've never even seen anyone do heroin. Like, no one really does it here. I'm sure there is heroin addicts out in Australia, but it's just not as common as other drugs. Yeah, so I haven't done heroin or anything like acid, LSD. They're the only drugs I haven't done. So, yeah. I've never been addicted, and it's never been like a every week type of thing. You low-key want a female to join you and your boyfriend. No, I am such a jealous person. Oh my god, he is mine, hun. Like, I'm such a jealous person. I can't handle other women with him. And even like the other day, right? We've been happily together for 7 years, and I was sitting with him on the couch, and I had a lighter in my hand, and I was mucking around like pretending to burn his skin. I'm weird, I know. And he said, oh, we're playing this game. I don't want to play this game. I've done this before with another girl, and my stomach fucking dropped, and I was like, what do you mean? When? And he was like, oh, when I was like 15. And it was so funny because I haven't felt that for a while now, and it was just like, yeah, I'm so fucking jealous. Like, I'm his number one. No one else. I could never let another female in to our relationship, ever. Could I bring in another male? Possibly, but the connection would not be the same. It would not be the same. You lost your virginity young. Yes, I was 14 when I lost my virginity. You have a really good sense of humor. I have a weird sense of humor. I'm just really silly, and I'm crazy, and I find silly things really funny. Like, all these comedy movies, everyone's always like laughing. My boyfriend like cracks up at them, and I don't laugh. I find silly things really funny, like cat videos and shit. Like, I have that type of sense of humor. You are a very social person with a strong personality. No, I'm not very social. I'm such a homebody, and when I'm social, I'm very social, but I can only do it for a few hours before I need to come home and recharge and be on my own. Your body count is over 50. For some reason, people think I'm such a whore. Like, I'm a whore. Or I was. No, my body count is not over 50. It's 10. I've slept with 10 people. 10. I can name them all. But yeah, I wasn't someone that just like slept with everyone like everyone assumes. You've always had good skin. Yes, I've been blessed with my skin. I've never suffered from acne or anything like that. I get, you know, every now and then I'll get like a blemish, like a pimple, like around my mouth. That's hormonal when I'm on my period, but I've never suffered from like acne or anything like that. People always ask me for my skincare routine and like what I use on my skin to keep it the way it is. I don't do anything. Like, I wash my face and moisturize, and that's it. A lot of pain and heartbreak made you a strong person. Yes, I've been through a lot, and especially when I was a teen, I went through a lot of traumatic experiences, a lot of stuff that would usually break people. And when I get into detail about it, I've had so many people in my life now be like, how are you here? Like, how did you survive? I've been through a lot. You're secretly a part of the mafia. Do you know how many people actually say that to me? I've had so many people message me and think that. Not at all. I don't even know anyone in the mafia. Like, What? What? No, I don't know anything about the mafia. I've known a lot of criminals in my life, but not anyone in the mafia. You do makeup for a living. Yes and no. I used to do freelance makeup, like weddings and stuff like that on the side, but I recently gave that up. You have dyed your hair black. Yes, I dyed my hair black when I was 16 after a breakup. Jet black, mate. I've had black hair, I've had red hair, like bright red hair. I also went blonde when I was 18 after a breakup. Yeah, every time I have a breakup, I fucking do something drastic to my hair. My hair's been like this for 7 years, bitch. It's taken its time. It's a bit boring. It's all natural. Also, a lot of people always ask me like what color my hair is, like if I go and get it done. This is natural. Completely natural. This is my natural hair color. You hate cooking. Yes, you'll fucking never catch me in the kitchen, bitch. You'll never catch me in the kitchen unless I'm making toast or a coffee. I fucking hate cooking. I'm not that bitch. I'm not that bitch. My boyfriend cooks. He cooks every night. Occasionally, I will help him cook. But it's like I'm stirring a pot of pasta, bitch. I'm not doing anything like drastic. And I'll help with the dishes and shit like that. But I hate cooking. I'm not good at cooking. You love jeans over skirts and dresses. I love sweatpants. I want comfort at all times, hun. You've been in a lot of physical fights. Amen, sister. A fucking man. I've had a black eye before. I've been in some fights and I've like been aggressive with men before. They've never put their hands on me, but I've, you know, like, don't fuck with me. You bullied people in high school. Yes and no. I wasn't someone that just went around and bullied anyone. I remember one of my best friends in high school, and she's still a dear friend to me to this day. We haven't seen each other in 2 years, but I will have mad love for her forever. Her first day, she was getting a lot of attention from my friends that were boys, and I was super jealous. So I walked past her and pushed her in the bush. Like, I was so fucking mean to her because she was getting all the attention, and I was like, I get all the attention from the boys. Like, anyway, we ended up becoming really good friends. If I was a bully, it was because of my own insecurities, but I wasn't someone that just went around and went out of their way to bully. But I was definitely someone in high school that thought their shit did not fucking stink. I was that bitch. Like, I fucking used to stomp down those hallways thinking that I was God's gift to the world. It bit me in the ass, but karma got me in the end, and fuck, was she painful. You're a party girl. No, I'm not. I'm so far from a party girl, but when I do let loose, I let fucking loose, and I used to party heaps when I was younger, like from 14 to like 20. I was drunk like the whole entire time. I was always out. I got a fake ID when I was 16, so I was out in the clubs like when I was 16, drinking, hooking up, partying on the dance floor, bitch. Like, yeah, that's why I don't party now, because I did it, I've done it all, you know. You were a slut when you were younger. No, I wasn't. I definitely had, I guess you could say I had a name for myself, but I wasn't someone that just slept with anyone. I had a lot of boyfriends. Well, not a lot of boyfriends. I had 2 boyfriends during high school, and they were like 2 years each. But in between, I would see people and just date them and sleep with them, and that was it. And there was a couple other like one night stands here and there. But yeah, no, I wasn't a slut. Like, I wasn't that slut, you know what I mean? But I guess I was just sexually active and just enjoyed it when I was younger. You used to get really drunk when you were younger. Yes, I drank a lot of vodka. And now when I drink vodka, it just brings back way too many bad memories. It's like got this bad stigma attached to it. I also get really aggressive when I drink vodka. Every time I drink vodka, I get into a fight with someone. I get really like, I just want to attack people. I don't know what's wrong with me. When I drink wine, I get really slutty and really hoary. Like, I just want to have sex. I can't drink bourbon because it makes me feel sick. I don't like beer. Ugh. Cider gives me a headache. I do like vodka, and I used to drink a lot of it when I was younger, like a lot, like Smirnoff Double Blacks. Bitch. So many stories. I've done so many stories. But yeah, I drank fucking loads when I was a teen, like every weekend. Like, I was blind drunk the whole entire time. Okay guys, that's it for the video. I hope you really did enjoy. If you did, thumbs it up. I'm gonna go and edit this and upload it so it goes up as soon as possible. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.